Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This article is from ABC 7, Investigations. Scientology settles forced abortion lawsuit out of court by Lisa Bartley, dated July 24th, 2018. The Church of Scientology settles a high-profile lawsuit just weeks before trial as plaintiffs tried to drag church leader David Miscavige into court, Los Angeles. Nearly a decade after filing her explosive lawsuit, Laura DiCrescenzo has settled her case against the Church of Scientology. Laura's trial was set for August, and the case got even more interesting when her attorneys recently added David Miscavige, leader of Scientology, to their witness list. The terms of the settlement were not disclosed, and there were no comment from attorneys on either side of the case. DiCrescenzo signed Scientology's billion-year contract when she was just 12 years old, moving out of her parents' home in New Mexico and into Scientology's PAC base in Hollywood. DiCrescenzo alleged in her lawsuit that she was falsely imprisoned, we've heard that before, isolated from her family at times, heard that, subjected to rigid discipline, we've heard that too, in the Rehabilitation Project Force, and forced to have an abortion when she became pregnant as a teenager. Notice how that is very, very vague. As a teenager, I just wonder if she was SA'd and then she got pregnant. In court papers, attorneys for Scientology denied each and every allegation. They always do. Scientology fought to keep DiCrescenzo's case from going to trial for 9 years. One pretrial legal battle focused on DiCrescenzo's confessional files. I think they get them from the audits and the sec checks. Thousands of pages of documents compiled by Scientology during Laura's 13 years in the Sea Organization. They make it all fluffy, but that's what they get from the audits and sec checks. Scientology ultimately turned the files over, and much of it was entered into the court record. Wonder how many records were thrown away. In those files, handwritten notes by DiCrescenzo depict a young woman who missed her family and was broken and fearful during her stint on the RPF. This is just hearsay on my part. But she was sent to the RPF, and around that time she was pregnant. So I know a lot of times when the young girls, including the teenagers that are all minors, so if it was a really young girl and she got SA'd, she tells the so-called leadership what happened. They blame the girl, they blame the teenager, and if she's a child, she goes to the child RPF. If she's a teenager, I think she would go to the adult RPF. So many levels of wrong, it's not even hard to, it is hard to understand. But I'm just wondering, I'm putting two and two together. She's pregnant, she's at the RPF. I'll bet she got SA'd. Just a guess. Okay, DiCrescenzo married another member of the Sea Org at 16. Okay, and became pregnant at 17. Okay, well, I don't know. Okay, in her lawsuit, she says she endured days of intense pressure by her Scientology supervisor to abort the baby. DiCrescenzo says the supervisor told her it was the greatest good to abort the baby. That's always what they use, is the greatest good. So we really should have like a memorial for all these aborted babies. I mean, really, like for all aborted babies. But, DiCrescenzo gave in despite her longing for a child. Oh. Scientology acknowledges that church policy prohibits active members from the Sea Org from having young children, but they insist DiCrescenzo could have walked away at any time. DiCrescenzo spent 3 years in Scientology's rehabilitation project force before she says she took drastic action, faking a suicide attempt because she believed it would lead to her dismissal from the RPF and the Sea Org. She swallowed bleach and was dismissed within days. DiCrescenzo's lawsuit against Scientology has been working its way through the court system since 2009, surviving numerous appeals and motions to dismiss. She is now living out of state and is pregnant with her 4th child. Wow. Well, I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't rule out there was no SA, but anyways, very sad what she went through. And I'm glad that she was able to get something out of such a tragic, sad situation. So, peace, everyone. I'll put the link in the description.